Let me ask you something that might sting. When was the last time you truly learned something that changed your life? I'm not talking about scrolling through social media, watching random videos, or picking up surface-level knowledge. I mean real, deep, life-changing education. The kind that makes you stronger, sharper, and unshakable. For years I thought I was smart. I thought I knew enough. I had my experiences, my victories, and my share of failures. But one day, life humbled me. I lost control of my emotions, my focus, and my discipline. I reacted to situations like a child instead of a man. I blamed the world for my failures instead of mastering myself. And then I came across a simple but brutal truth from Marcus Aurelius. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. That hit me like a hammer. I had been a slave to my emotions, my distractions, and my ignorance. But no more. From that day on, I committed myself to education. Not just school, not just knowledge, but a daily practice of sharpening my mind, training my emotions, and refining my soul. And today I want to pass that same fire to you, because the moment you stop learning is the moment you start dying. If you're not growing, you're shrinking. If you're not getting sharper, you're getting weaker. So let's break free from the ignorance that chains most men. Let's rise above the distractions and mediocrity. Today I'm going to show you how to educate yourself every single day, not just to gain knowledge, but to become unbreakable. The war for your mind, you either train it or lose it. Most men walk through life like unarmed soldiers in the middle of a war. They don't train their minds. They don't prepare for battle. They just hope that things will work out. That's why they fall apart when challenges hit. Let me make this clear. The world is attacking your mind every single day. The news fills you with fear. Social media trains you to be distracted. Weak men around you normalize laziness and mediocrity. And if you're not actively training your mind, you're losing the battle. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Roman emperors, spent every single morning reading, reflecting, and writing in his journal. Why? Because he knew that a man who does not train his mind is a slave to his impulses. So ask yourself, are you training your mind every day? Are you feeding it wisdom, or are you letting the world poison it? The greatest warriors and leaders in history were not just physically strong, they were mentally unbreakable. And that kind of strength only comes from daily education, reading, reflecting, and learning how to control your thoughts. If you don't train your mind, someone else will control it for you. Your emotions are your weakest link or your greatest strength. Most men believe their emotions are uncontrollable. They think that anger, fear, and anxiety are just part of life. But that's a lie. Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher, once said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Do you realize what that means? If you cannot control your emotions, you are not free. You are a prisoner of your own mind. Have you ever lost control in a moment of anger and regretted it later? Have you ever let fear stop you from taking action? That is what happens when you let your emotions control you instead of mastering them. But here's the secret. Education is the path to emotional mastery. When you study philosophy, psychology, and self-discipline, you learn how to manage your emotions instead of being controlled by them. Jesus himself demonstrated this perfectly. When people spat on him, mocked him, and betrayed him, he did not react with rage. He had unshakable emotional control. If he could remain calm under the worst conditions, so can you. Start training your emotions today. Educate yourself on how to respond instead of react, because a man who masters his emotions cannot be broken. The death of weak men, why discipline separates the strong from the average. Here's a brutal fact. Weak men die before they are buried. Not physically, but mentally. They let laziness, distractions, and lack of discipline turn them into hollow shells of what they could have been. The Stoics believed that a man should train his body and mind every single day. Seneca wrote, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult." What does that mean for you? It means discipline is not something you're born with. It's something you train, and the best way to build it is through daily education. Every morning, before you do anything else, educate yourself. Read 10 pages of a powerful book. Write down your goals and reflect on them. Train your body, because a strong mind needs a strong body. Weak men wake up and waste their time. Strong men wake up and build themselves. Pain is a gift. Use it to become stronger. Most people run from pain, but the Stoics embraced it. Why? Because pain is a teacher. Seneca said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body." Think about that. Every challenge, every hardship, every heartbreak, they are all opportunities to grow. Instead of saying, "Why is this happening to me?" start asking, "What is this teaching me?" Jesus himself went through suffering and came out stronger. If he endured pain for a greater purpose, then so can you. Stop running from pain. Learn from it. Let it mold you into a warrior. You become what you consume. Choose wisely. The content you consume is shaping your future, period. If you surround yourself with weak people, you will become weak. If you fill your mind with garbage, your thoughts will be garbage. Proverbs 13:20 says, "Walk with the wise and become wise, for a companion of fools suffers harm." So take a hard look at what you feed your mind every day. Stop watching pointless videos. Stop listening to weak people. Instead, surround yourself with knowledge, wisdom, and people who challenge you to grow. You are either feeding your future or feeding your destruction. Choose wisely. Knowledge is power, but only if you use it. Here's the truth. Most people know what to do, but they never do it. They read books, watch videos, and nod their heads in agreement, but they never apply what they learn. James 1:22 says, "Do not merely listen to the word and so deceive yourselves. Do what it says." That's the final challenge. Take action. Apply what you've learned today. Take control of your mind. Master your emotions. Stop making excuses. Because in the end, the difference between a weak man and a strong man is simple. The strong man takes action. If this fired you up, hit that like button. Drop a comment below. I reply to as many as I can. And if you're ready to become the strongest version of yourself, subscribe for more powerful content. Educate yourself. Master your emotions. Become unshakable. The world needs strong men. Are you ready to rise?